What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast, where we are trying to change your life 1 week at a time. Every single episode is literally designed to help stop mistakes, to help open your mind, and to help show you how you can switch your life around literally within a year. By the time this podcast is finished at the end of 2019, my goal is that your life is completely how you want it to be. So today we're going to talk about something fitting for the beginning of the year, and that is 2019 New Year's resolutions, goal setting, and kind of really jumping into the importance of goals, especially early on in your year. And so first off, you need to understand why this is important. Because like for me, I'm a little kid, right? I'm sitting in middle school and my teacher's like, Zach, you need to set some goals for the year. And I'm like, this is really stupid. I don't care about goals. I just want to go home and play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Maybe eat a couple pieces of candy and drink some pop. That's my goal for the day. Like I thought goal setting was some corporate, like just really stupid adult stuff. Didn't make sense to me, and I didn't really understand why it was important. Then I slowly learned from all these books that I kept reading and all of these people telling me, no matter who they were, whether it was LeBron James in a video or Tony Robbins, one of the biggest motivational speakers ever, people from every industry started saying goals were important. And I was like, okay, LeBron's saying it, Tony Robbins is saying it, Jim Rohn's saying it, all of these celebrities are saying it, famous singers are saying it. Clearly there's something here. And so I took a lot of time to focus on goals and figure out what's the importance. Like, why do I care about setting a goal? I mean, if I work hard, I'm gonna get cool stuff, right? If I really work out a lot, I'll probably get in shape, right? Well, the truth is that's not really how it works. It can work that way. Like if you work out really, really hard and you're constantly pushing yourself, you're eventually gonna get in shape, right? That makes sense. But if you specifically set goals, like really specifically set goals, that's gonna give you a purpose when you do things. So instead of just working out and you're just working out every day, you're not focusing on a muscle, you're not focusing on a type of workout, you're not focusing on an end goal, you're just literally in the gym doing random equipment exercises and you call that working out. Technically you are working out, but if you compare yourself to the guy who has a nice split of push-pull exercises, days off, perfect HIIT exercises, like a really calculated workout plan and diet, that dude put more effort into it, put more effort in the planning, and likely put more effort into what he wants to look like or what his goals are. So that's why goal setting is really, really important, because it gives you something to work towards and it gives you a purpose in every decision that you make. Think about a boat, right? A giant cruise ship. If you got onto a cruise ship and you're the captain and you say, well, let's just go. Let's just see where we end up. You're either going to crash into another boat, crash into an island, or maybe even just get lost at sea, right? You're not going to hit anywhere. But if you say, hey, I want to go from Maine to Florida, you now got a path, you got a decision, you know where you're going, you got a goal. Your life is just like that boat. If you don't have any goal, you don't have any destination, you will have nowhere to go and you'll just crash into wherever the waves take you. And you have to take control of your own life, which is why goal setting is important, because most people out there, most people don't set goals. And by listening to this and realizing that you are now taking control of that boat instead of letting the world push you to where the world wants you. Because there's two ways to live your life, guys. You can live your life how you want and following your own dreams, or you can be a piece of someone else's dream. There are too many people out there today that are a part of someone else's dream that just don't care. That just go with it and just say, you know what, this is my life, this is what I'm handed. And a big reason for that is they don't have goals. People that are 30-year-old pizza delivery drivers are people that just don't have goals. I live next to one. I see him every day. The dude looks depressed, dude. He comes out at like 6 a.m., delivers pizzas for like 10 hours a day, makes no money, and then comes home and sleeps and feels bad for himself. That's a man who set no goals and gave up on life. I don't want any of you to turn into that. So you need to start as young as possible. You need to start focusing on goals, doing new things, getting experiences, and figuring out where you want to go. I don't know where I want to go yet. I know I want to be a YouTuber, but maybe in 10 years I won't like that anymore, you know? You got to figure out where you want and just work towards it. But here's the really cool thing about goal setting. And this is something that one of the biggest regrets of my life is that I didn't know this earlier. And those of you that are my age, 23 or older, this is going to be hard to hear, but those of you that are younger than me, definitely pay attention to this part. There's something called mastery, right? When you become a master at a skill, there's an old saying, it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Once you hit 10,000 hours, you're arguably a master, and then you can go and become amazing. Like Michelangelo or the great artists, or I don't know, Michael Jackson, famous singers, celebrities, actors, all these people put in a lot of work behind the scenes. But the thing is, we don't really see that work. Those 10, 12 years before they become famous, we don't see, right? How many pieces of work do you see from Picasso when he was 3 years old? None. How many do you see when he's like 10? Probably none, right? You see his good works, you see his famous works. That's how it is with Beethoven. That's how it is with everyone. But we're always told, well, they're just a natural. You know, Beethoven's a savant. That means he's just an expert at that, and he was just born with that skill. Now, maybe these people did have a certain skill. Maybe LeBron James was born with skill, right? He's got a little bit of height. He's like 6'7" or something. I don't know. He's a huge dude. But he also practiced like crazy, and so did all these other people. And their practice was a result of goal setting. And you see, the younger you set goals, the younger you can become successful. So because I'm 23 and I'm looking at other 23-year-olds, and I'm like, well, how is this person a millionaire and famous and I'm not? I've been putting in work. Well, I have, but I've only been putting in work for 3 years. Maybe this person started when she was 12. Maybe she's been working like this since she was 10, and that's why she's famous at 20. So you see these young celebrities, these young famous people, and a big portion of it is actually because their parents knew the importance of goals and helped them set these goals and work towards them from a young age. And then over the 10-year working period, they slowly became masters. And that is essentially the entire purpose of this podcast, to understand that setting goals leads you to becoming a master in whatever field you choose. So whether that's acting, YouTubing, engineering, math, literally whatever it is that you like, and you put in the effort, maybe like 3 hours a day for 6 to 10 years, maybe more, whatever it is, 10,000 hours, that's the number that gets you there. And in general, it takes, I believe I read, 10 years. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure of the 40 most famous piano players right now in the world, of the top 40, only 2 of them released a famous song in less than 10 years. And those 2 did it in 9 years. And that means they worked every single day for hours and hours and hours and hours to get better at something. And this podcast isn't about how to practice. We'll have a different episode about how you're supposed to actually do the exercises, how you're actually supposed to be practicing, right? Because 3 hours of practice is not the same as 3 hours of sitting there in the gym and pretending to lift weak weights. So I think you guys finally understand at this point why goals are important. The goals are the reason that you can become successful in anything that you want to be successful in. So for me, my goals are extremely strict every single day, monthly, yearly, daily goals. I've got a video on it on my main YouTube channel. You might want to check that one out to go even more in depth into how I do my goal setting. But my friends and I actually, we do this thing where we call it 2019 squad goals, right? We make a Google spreadsheet, we share it between our friends, and every single month, we have to hold each other accountable to our goals. Now, currently, only 2 of us are doing it. I don't know if the others just don't care. Maybe they're busy. But this is something that no one should skip. So the 2 of us that are doing it right now, we are writing down our goals. And every month, we're going to go over how we're doing, what we're doing to achieve these goals. Are we actually forgetting a goal, right? There's no point in goals if you forget about them. So you need to hold yourself accountable. So every single week or month or whatever time period you want, you need to be checking in on your goals. So what I do is I actually have them written down on my phone in a separate app, and every single week, Sunday night before I go to work, I go down the list and I put a check mark if I did something towards that goal, and I put an X if I didn't. And then this week, if I have an X, I force myself to do something towards that goal. That way I'm always improving. So that is how I do goals. I set daily goals, monthly goals, weekly goals. A big tool I use is called Microsoft OneNote, and in that I pretty much have my entire life. It's on my phone, it's on my computer, and I just list out daily to-do list, high, low, medium priority. You got to be really organized. But the thing is, it's kind of daunting at first. But after a month of it, it's really not that bad. After 2 months of it, you've got a process set up. After 3 months of it, you are now totally ingrained in the system, and it's really easy to keep track of your goals and start working towards them. So that is kind of how I do things. Now, when you're doing these goals, the thing to notice is most people don't really keep them, you know? How many people get a gym membership and then quit before January ends? A freaking lot, right? How many people say I'm going to go lift every day, and then suddenly something comes up and they get sick, so, well, I can't go today. And then the next day they're still not feeling great, so they still don't go. And then at that point, well, I've already missed 2 days, I'll just start next Monday. And then before you know it, they never go back. So to actually hit your goals, you need to form a habit. And they say to form a habit, it takes about 22 days of doing it. And then it becomes ingrained in your body and it becomes a part of your life. And you won't even think about it. You'll just say, this is what I do. Just like how you wake up and take a shower or brush your teeth. You don't think about that. You just do it. And that's how working out could be, or whatever goals you want, if you do them every single day for 22 days. Now that's an average, could be more, could be less. It just gives you an idea of how long you're going to have to work towards it. But what I would say is just make sure you do it no matter what. If you don't give yourself an excuse in these 22 days, you won't give yourself an excuse for the rest of the year and hopefully the rest of your life. Because remember, these aren't temporary goals. Hopefully the goals you're setting are goals that will last forever, goals that will change your life forever. So 22 days to form a habit. Go every single day. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care about anything unless you literally physically cannot get out of your bedroom and you are so sick you should be in the hospital, then go to the hospital. Other than that, you need to go to the gym. You need to go hit whatever your goals you're setting, and you can't skip no matter what. That is your priority. If you start skipping 1, 2, 3 days, it's done. You're not going to do it. I can guarantee you, you will not do it because it's so easy to just say, maybe next year, maybe next month. And before you know it, you're 6 months in and you're like, wow, maybe next year. And you're making memes about how New Year's resolutions don't work. They do work. You just have to know how to make them work. So guys, set your goals. I'm giving you homework every single week from this podcast because the goal is by listening to this every single week, you are going to completely change your life. The goal is that when you finish this entire series, 2020 will come around and you'll look back at yourself in January and you'll say, I cannot believe that was me. We're here to completely reshape your mind, change it, because that is possible. We're going to change every aspect about you that you hate, completely kill it, get rid of it, and retrain your mind. So homework for this week. Next week, I want to hear that you guys have done this. Please leave a comment in the show notes, wherever you're watching this, and let me know what you did for goals. I want you to set daily goals every single day. I want you to set weekly goals every single week, and I want you to set at least one big monthly goal for every single month. I don't care what these goals are. I don't care if they're small. I don't care if your goal is as simple as take a shower because you're depressed and you need to take a shower. I don't care if your goal is as big as write a book, all right? Just set something as a goal and do it. And that is where the habit starts. You see, we've got to form a habit of goal setting along with the habit of whatever goals you have. So to start off, do this the moment this podcast ends. If you don't do this very simple part right here, the rest of this podcast for the rest of the year won't mean anything, because you won't have enough energy to set a goal, so you won't have enough energy to change the rest of your life. So guys, this is where it starts right here. If you can't set a goal, go ahead and just stop listening to this podcast, because it's not going to change your life. Go set them, guys. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Have an awesome day. Spread the love. Peace.